Oh, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever applies. Today we're going to be playing Final Fantasy XIV, carrying on Endwalker. Reaper is so much fun. Yeah, I've been told. I've been told. Um, you know, I'm tired from last night. I was up until like 4 a.m. because of the Game Awards. I'll do that class next. Nice. Ah, Kavita. Ew. Hello. Guess we'll see what we're going to do next in this story. So yeah, guys, last night the Game Awards were pretty good. I actually really enjoyed watching them. And I made just now a compilation of my 10 favorite trailers because people asked me not to spam reaction videos, so I just did one compilation and that was it. Hey Mom, good morning. Mom, I'm tired. I'm so dramatic. Might be a shorter stream today just because we were up all night last night. I didn't get a chance to download that Matrix Awakens thing, but I watched the video. I saw that it's like 15 minutes gameplay and then just show off the engine. But it looks pretty impressive. I think you'll like it. Yeah. It'll be a while before I play anything other than Paladin, that's for sure. Because I'm not even 83 yet, so... like I said, it was a great event. I just wish it wasn't in the middle of the flippant night. Which has a more reasonable hour. And the actual awards itself, I don't really care about, so like... I know that some people... Hey, Jen. I know that some people had some feelings about It Takes Two winning the game of the year. How's your rest? Yeah, pretty good, but I'm still really tired. Hopefully tonight I'll sleep normal time. Ugh. Hey, Gavita, how you doing? Yeah, I'll say that I might do Reaper after Paladin. Because usually when the expansion launches, I try and max out one of each role. So one tank, one DPS, one healer. I saw you in the stream video. Or Kavita, you mean? Yeah, Kavita's right there. Oh, God, suck. Why? But whatever. It's only once a year, right? Ugh. Literally, I've got tears in my eyes because But I did everything I wanted to do today in terms of videos. So I made my gaming news. I made my compilation video for the Game Awards. So, yeah. Like a soccer league. Yeah, exactly. So, when I've woken up a little bit, then I will start recording more story. See if I can get to 83 today. Good. I blame Jeff Keighley. Now, in terms of 7 Remake on PC, I won't play it because I've already platinumed it on PlayStation. But I will probably check out someone else playing it. I'm assuming Maximilian Dude will play it again on PC. So I'll probably check out some of his streams when I can. Because he's got a really good setup as well. So I think he'll be able to, because I think he's got literally a 3090, so he'll be able to absolutely max out what's possible. Because I've got a 2080. And he's got a 2 PC setup, so he can probably run the game at like 4K. So on his gaming PC, so it looks amazing on stream. And yeah, I spent all the time yesterday to update all of my like main scenario quest videos on my channel. There's like more than 250 of them. I updated every single one. It took okay, take me like 6-7 hours to update all of them. So but now they're all the same style, same sort of tags, same sort of everything. Ah, Mum, there you are. Hello. Hey Tanya, how you doing today? Tanya, I'm really tired today because we watched the Game Awards last night, and it went on until like 4 AM my time. It's like the pre-show was midnight, and then the event started at 1 AM. And then it went on until 4 AM. So, yeah. Hello. What up, though? And I was saying for the gaming news today, there was too much news. Like, there was 50 trailers yesterday. So trying to pick 3 was difficult. Let's see, 14-1 best online? Yeah, I saw that. Best ongoing game. So, great. It's just a shame Yoshi P wasn't there. Though I can understand, he's probably very busy. Like, cause it's one of those double-edged things. Like, if he went, people would have been happy, but also some other people would have not been happy, saying that you need to fix 14. So, like, he would have been doomed whether he went or not, basically. So it's probably better that he didn't go. Ugh. Oh, God. Oh, I'm so tired. What? Like, you would have thought it would get easier with time, but not for me. I just get more and more and more and more and more tired. To a point it becomes unbearable. Let me get up and stretch. Let me, like, shake around. Ugh. Sit ups, yeah. I'll slap myself in the face. He doesn't drink coffee or tea. No, I don't drink coffee or tea. Because when I was a kid, basically, my parents would be zombies until they would have their cup of coffee in the morning. But they would be flipping zombies, and it would terrify me. So I sort of promised myself from an early age that Like, I must have been like 7 or 8 years old. I promised myself from then that I will never end up like that, where I need tea or coffee to live. Yeah. Coffee zombies, oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I need one of those, man. Uh, do I have to play dead emote? Let's take a look. What was it? Play dead. There we go. I can rest when I'm dead, right? I will be remembered. I'm being honored. I've been remembered. Rested a cat nuts on my head. Huh, I like your chocobo. Let me actually see if I, what's it called? Let me see if I have that outfit for the chocobo. Probably don't. Oh, actually I do. The Highland barding. Highland. Cool. Yeah. I got one of those. Totally not copying you. Totally. Christmas theme. Yep. 55Q. Yay. Yeah. The queue was... It was like 30 when I logged in. How have the queues been in the evening? Because obviously right now, for this server, it's like the middle of the night. $14 when I logged in. Cool. In the evening, it is much worse. Over 3,000. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can imagine. But there are some advantages to playing on an NA server when you're in the EU. On 7 PM UK, it gets really busy. Yeah, I mean, thankfully in my case, 7 PM is usually by the time I'm thinking about logging out. Probably not today, though, because I'm really tired, but you will see. I actually keep using this Chocobo while I'm in this region. Switch around. I like it. 4,500 last night. Wow. Yeah, like I said, I can imagine. Imagine it's super, super busy. I see a Don. The thing is, like, I don't want to start doing the story and then be, like, yawning throughout all of it. I need time to wake up. But, like I said, I made my compilation video for the Game Awards. It'll come out in just under 2 hours. Sit-ups won't help. Like, it will just hurt my neck. I'm more likely to injure myself than wake up. Because if I injure myself, then I'll be like, I need to go to sleep to recover. But yeah, like I said, it was good. So it seems like next year is going to be a busy year game-wise. But yeah, I had, like I said, such a busy day yesterday. It was like 6-7 hours of updating videos on YouTube, and then like 3-4 hours of watching the Game Awards, and then this morning, like the gaming news and a compilation video. But at least the compilation video is done. I don't have to think about it. It's finished. It's uploaded. It's coming out soon. So rather than uploading 50 reaction videos and losing 100 subscribers, you know, because it annoys my subs if I spam them with videos. So I'm trying to keep it reasonable. And in terms of 14 content, I've already pre-recorded enough videos that it will last. Like, if I record no more, let me take a look. Schedule. Yeah, I've got videos already scheduled until the 15th. So, yeah. So, whatever the next story video is that I'll record now won't even come out to the 16th. So you really get early access by watching my stream. Even though you guys yourselves have probably finished this quest like days ago. And it's also to be fair to Square Enix. Like, I wasn't going to upload the ending on the first day. I didn't even reach it. So, and even if I did, I wouldn't have. I'm not that sort. And when 7 Remake Part 2 comes out, it's been requested already in advance, years in advance, that I do not upload early. Because I'll be honest, I did upload very early for 7 Remake Part 1, and a couple of people were really angry about it. A couple of people did actually say, I'm unsubbing, I didn't want to see what I saw. It's a bit where the picture of Cloud hugging Tifa. They didn't want to see that. They said that was spoilers. Question, chat. This is nothing to do with nothing. Taylor Swift, you know, the singer, she has to go to court because of a lyric in one of her songs. The lyric is, player's gonna play, hater's gonna hate. And someone is basically claiming that they wrote those lyrics and Taylor Swift stole them. Do you think generic language like that can ever be copyrighted? Because I think we as 14 creators have said haters gonna hate. As streamers, as Twitchers, as people on social media have said haters gonna hate. What is copyright? Copyright basically is like whoever originally makes something owns the rights to it. So for example, Square Enix owns the copyright to Final Fantasy. It's their copyright, it's their trademark. So they created Final Fantasy, they own it. So someone else can't make a game called Final Fantasy. You cannot copyright the regular language. Yeah, I mean, that was the judge's original ruling. But then the other people involved appealed, and then now she has to go to court in front of a jury. I find that insane. For saying haters gonna hate. After you live for a long time, you start to see things keep on repeating itself. Yeah. I mean, for the world's sake. Yeah. And in terms of royalties and stuff like that, like, I think royalties or ownership for music only lasts for like 50 to 75 years, depends on the country. So, and then all music becomes public domain. But because the music industry as it is now has only existed the last few decades, a lot of the songs are not at that point yet of public domain. Personally, I just think it's a marketing ploy for the people who wrote the song originally. Hey Joshua, good morning. But it's like I said, when I read that headline, it was sort of like, not because I'm in love with Taylor Swift, which I am, but because simply it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I've used the phrase "haters gonna hate." I've used it a lot. Does that mean I should get sued because it belongs to someone else? Frivolous lawsuits are BS. Yeah, absolutely. So it's like when there was a YouTuber. I can't remember who that YouTuber was. I think it's a company. They were trying to copyright the idea of episodes. Now you gotta pay someone $2 to say it. So, but thankfully they were not able to trademark episodes. Because, you know, everything is episode based. All the TV shows, most YouTube series, everything is episode based. So if someone actually grabbed the copyright of that, everyone would owe them money. So the judge said, basically, piss off. You're not going to get the copyright for this. It would be like someone copywriting the concept of breakfast. It's like your first meal of the day is breakfast. It belongs to the breakfast company, so you have to pay them every time you have breakfast. It doesn't make any sense, right? Like the floss dance. Yeah, yeah. It was invented by that kid, and then Fortnite stole it. But then Fortnite popularized it. Even though, what is flossing? Just swinging your arms about like an idiot. So yeah, like I said, when I see that stuff, I was just sort of like, I mean, I wasn't even looking for headlines like that. I was looking for gaming news headlines, but that just randomly popped up because, you know, I said I read. To reach my free stories on the gaming news, I read like at least 30. Reminds me of the PP dance. So yeah. Hey Serial, how you doing? Good morning.
Hi there.
Good afternoon.
I feel good. Thanks for
Yeah, Syria. Always, every time. Why? So I've been taking my sweet time through 14. You see, I'm not even 83 yet. So I'm going as slowly as I can. I'm relishing every minute, because once the story is gone, it's gone forever. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to read it out again. Like, if I do it again, it'll be on an alt, and then it will be Skip Cutscene Simulator. So about that Matrix experience on PlayStation 5, yeah, I saw the video. It looks incredible, doesn't it? Like, some of the scenes literally look like real life. So it shows what Unreal Engine 5 is capable of. So in a few years, when more and more games start using Unreal Engine 5, then we will see what we get. It just means that PlayStation 6, in a decade's time, is going to be more photorealistic, I think, in my opinion. I think it's going to become a real problem in the future. At 14 on that engine, yeah. I think what will happen is that more and more news headlines is going to be faked with people making up rubbish in Unreal Engine. There's probably going to be analyzers who say, yeah, this is animation, this is not real life. But yeah, but we can wait some decades for that to happen. But yeah, all right, chat. Shall I start the story? Shall we get the ball rolling? And hopefully you guys will like my compilation. Forspoken is coming sooner than expected. Yeah, Forspoken actually looks really good. I'm looking forward to that game. It's actually in my compilation. I remember when... Hey, Don. I remember when Forspoken was first announced. Well, it wasn't even called Forspoken, it was just Untitled Project X or whatever. I thought it was Final Fantasy XVI in disguise, originally. I didn't expect it to be just a brand new IP. Okay. I think I'm awake now. Thanks for the host, I appreciate you. Does anyone want to gift subs to Dawn and to Jin? Like to work for me? Okay, have fun. Alright, I'm gonna... What's it called? I'm gonna carry on the story. I have to dismiss my chocobo if it's in the way. He said at 4:22 p.m. Is it 4:22? Yeah. It's because I was up until 4 a.m. last night, Don, watching the Game Awards. The Game Awards was between 1 to 4 a.m. So I slept very late. I slept closer to 5 a.m. Then I woke up at maybe 11. Actually, no, I take that back. It wasn't 11. It was noon. Actually, I woke up thinking back, and then I did my gaming news and the compilation stuff. So, all right, chat. I'm gonna try and record as much story as I can today before I pass out. Alrighty. So the first quest is called Tracks in the Snow. I'm going to try and be as upbeat as possible for the episode. So recording in 3, 2, 1. I'm back for another episode. Okay, I guess I need to be more upbeat than that. Okay. Recording in 3, 2, 1. And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be carrying on the main story in Final Fantasy XIV's expansion, Endwalker. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So, we are here in Gala mode at 14:30. And we need to talk to Emmanueline. The quest is called Tracks in the Snow. Emmanueline is, as usual, milling about aimlessly. What ho, chums? Been given something to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like rather a tall order. Since you ask, you're to scour the Eblan Rim for survivors. What? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you'll find someone? You take forever to finish the job without the benefit of my expertise, or more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends. I know just the spot to begin our search. I'll probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. Alright, do we have to go far? Okay, we have to catch up to him. So, let's go! Alright, stop recording. Here we go again. Horrid one. How are you, Ian? Good morning. 4,200 Q today for Cerberus. Joy, I'll be in 4 hours here. I think it would be in your benefit to maybe come to Sargatanis. Like, when we logged in, I logged in with a, what was it? Like a 39 Q. Mum logged in with a 14 Q. I mean, if you want to keep playing at this time. I know that you said you have a house and so on and blah 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 blah, but it's just, you know. Or you could just wait it out. Hopefully things will get better over time. I mean, what James did, he made a new character here just so that he can at least play. Or you just carry on doing what you're doing, like use the time to play Death Stranding, I guess. But yeah, how far are you in Death Stranding so far? You did. Just being mean. I watch you while in queue, so it's not so bad. Ah, fair enough. Yeah. Overall, it's what I said before, I thought that the Game Awards were pretty good last night. Compared to other shows that we've seen. Because like a couple of years ago, do you remember, it was all just Red Dead Redemption 2, like every 5 seconds. Thankfully, it was nothing like that. But I do feel that we can, for example, try and guess the awards, because from what I've seen from previous awards, because it seems to be scripted. The people who get no awards throughout the whole show are the main contenders for Game of the Year. It's like they get Game of the Year and that's it. And then all the other awards are given to other people. I'm in Chapter 3 still. Yeah, I mean, I was on Chapter 3 for ages, wasn't I? Before I moved on. I really wanted to make sure I 100%ed everything. Okay, tracks in the snow. Let's go. Alright. Okay, let's carry on the story. So, recording in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we caught up with him, so let's talk to him. I spied with my little telescope a massive sheep thing, or maybe it's a cow. Or it's not what we're after either way. Is that an aether current? Ah, no, just a wind sprite. Okay, other than that, it's all snow. Snow, snow, snow. But lo, what do I see over yon hillock? There's no mistaking it, that's a girl. A survivor? Show me. Over there behind that tree. It looks like she's running away from something. Though surely not us. She wouldn't even know that we're here unless she had a telescope like mine. All I can tell is that she's wearing a pale green dress. A rather fetching one at that. She'll be long gone by the time we get anywhere near, but we should be able to follow her footprints. I'll let Lucia know where you're heading. Oh, and take these warming tinctures with you. The poor girl must be chilled to the bone, if not on the verge of freezing to death. That's actually very thoughtful, thank you, but won't you need some for yourself? No, I'll be fine. As a man of chivalry, my honor demands I do no less. And lest we forget, the very reason we are here is to protect those in need. Now go, and Godspeed. Okay, so we have to search for the footprints in the snow. Not too far away, so let's see if we can find them. But I had to dress up my chocobo in a winter-based outfit. Okay, here's the footprints in the snow. So, a trail of fresh footprints leads east. Okay, the next one's over there. This sprite is non-aggressive. Next one. These footprints appear to be the same as those you saw previously, and they lead towards the building. Okay, let's talk to Alice. We're getting closer, I'm sure of it. At first, we thought she'd gone inside the building, but the door doesn't look to have been open in some time. You might still be nearby, so we'll keep looking around here. Then again, it's also possible that she ran right past this place. Would you mind searching up ahead? Sure. Okay. The girl in the green dress anxiously surveys her surroundings. Were you to call out to her from a distance, it might attract wild beasts to your location. It would be safer to get closer first, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Interesting. Do we have a stealth mission on our hands? Follow the girl from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you're noticed. Make sure to use cover as such as rocks as you approach her. Similarly, the objective will also end in failure if you fall too far behind. Should you fail to complete the objective, you may try again by returning to the designated location. Fair enough. Okay. I'm going to assume that she's going to turn around any second. Yep, of course. Okay, so far so good. I do like these sort of newer mechanics. I'm going to just wait here in case she trolls. I'm not going to assume anything. Beats over there. Try not to aggro anything. Slimy thing behind us. Be imagining things? Yep, this is a stealth mission. Go behind this tree just in case. Might need to sprint, because she's going very quickly. Okay. Speed spot me, I'm done for. Okay, I'm just gonna wait here again until in case she trolls. Then that tree is my next destination. Okay, So thankfully she doesn't seem to see my chocobo. Beware of that mob. Damn it! Fuck. Editing! I'm sure I was really close as well. Did anyone else fail this? You can ride the chocobo throughout. Okay. Me? Yes, once. Okay. Okay, there she goes. Oh, let's go as carefully as we can. Go behind these rocks. Okay, so far so good. Okay, she's going slowly, so let's just make sure she doesn't troll us. Need to be aware of the monsters as well. It's gross. Like I'm playing Judgment or something. Well, that mob literally is looking at the next hiding spot. We need him to move. Okay, and she turned around as well. Alright. Let's try and sprint and hurry up. Ah, she saw me. Fucking bastard motherfucking... Okay, sorry. I should not swear. Fuck! Okay. I mean, to be fair, what's the editing process? It's just delete. So, like, it might inconvenience me for about 4 seconds. That's what you get for being in the way. Those get annoying later on. Uh-oh. Use them out on the right side. Want some help? Let me try again. Then, if I need help, I'll ask. Okay, let's go. So it seems obvious that this rock is going to be the first hiding place. Let's wait here. Okay, she's turned around. Place. I don't know if she can hear our footsteps or not. I don't know if there's a thing of getting too close to her or not. I like jump on her head. Let's go there. Ew. Go to the next rock. Okay, here I might just stay. I think she turned around. Try and catch her up. Okay, so she seems to be hiding in that place. That little hut. Okay. Let's go. First try, 0 deaths, I'm the best gamer in the world. You're still a One Piece. Okay, let's talk to the girl in green. Who are you? Stay back. This house is packed with explosives. Take another step and I'll blow this place sky high. Please, we just want to talk. I'm Alphano. This is my sister, Alice, and our good friend, Mithrie. Subscribe. So we have no intention of hurting or taking anything from you or anyone else. I give you my word. We and our comrades have come to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Aid? You savages are the ones responsible for all this. You did this to us. We didn't, I promise you. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. The Telephroi are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Garlemald, and they won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They're the enemy, our enemy. On our way, we encountered Imperial soldiers who had been made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we are striving to cure them of their affliction. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Telephror's influence? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with introductions. Can you tell me your name? My name is Lucinia. As for how I've managed to stay sane, I've been asking myself the same question. Ever since that night and the roar, a terrible roar, and then the screams. I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure, I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like waking up from a nightmare. I thought that maybe the fighting had stopped, so I stepped outside. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. I ran past friends, people I'd known my whole life. Eyes vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled as far as my legs would take me. You have family here? Is this their home? Oh, this is Victor's Spoils, a mansion for retired soldiers. Or it was. And now me and a few others borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. I just wanted to keep everyone else safe. I didn't know if you were... the truth is, our supplies are running low. You said that you're here to help, can you? Of course. Whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I better tell the others first, so wait here. This is everyone. Lucinia says that you can be trusted, but these are desperate times. You'd be fools to let foreign troops into our home. Having said that, were you to provide us with means of heating the place, as a sign of goodwill, perhaps we could take you at your word. If that's too much to ask, then leave us be. I'd like to put my firewood gathering skills to use. Could you provide the spark with a little magic, Elise? We'll have a fire burning in no time. May we build it under the gazebo? The what? Oh, you mean the bower. Yes, yes, do as you will. He doesn't seem to be affected by the cold as much as the other people. Cool. That's complete. Alright. So the next quest is called How the Mighty Are Fallen. Lucinia's inner turmoil is writ plain on her face. Sorry, I was still finding it hard to come to terms with all that happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping that things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all the running about, so I'll leave space around the fire for the others. As you can tell, they're in a far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer, or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? Okay. So let's speak to Master Alpha Node. Not too far away. So let's keep going. The music. I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it will take some time for the fire to do its work. Now, would you be... So now would be a good occasion to make use of Emmanuel's tinctures. The ones that can warm the body from the inside out. Would you make sure everyone gets one? Sure. The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with a vengeance. But let's hand off over this warming tincture. It says, being gifts from the notoriously unreliable Emmanuelian, it is highly doubtful that this concoction will have the intended effect. If only there were willing, more important, unwitting volunteers on whom to test it. Warming tincture? I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? Though calling it that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings still standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow. Food production, water purification, the magitech that sustained us have come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run from lack of ceruleum. Of course, ceruleum ingens is full of the stuff, for all the good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. Cool. All is well. Yes, never better. Cool, let's give this person one. Oh, what sweet liberation is this? Is it poison by any chance? Was a joke, was a joke. If I laugh, 'tis that I may not weep, so said the poet. At the last, my tears would freeze on my cheek ere they fell. But we are the blessed damned. We are the blessed damned. So bear witness to the fall of the great empire. While our brethren lie dead, or live as a puppet of the flesh. First came the war, then came the roar. When the morning came, Garlemald was no more. In a cacophony of gunfire, explosions, and screams, was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the dishevelled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace, each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to architect our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew better than to plead with the horde. I fled with my heath. I fled with my health, my heath, lol. If not, my conscience preserved. Now I wait with my fellow cowards for our final judgment. Cool. Next. What do you want? A tincture. May as well drink it, I suppose. This is a radio. You don't have them where you come from, I take it? We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. There are different types, but this model is by far the most popular. Made with quality components crafted with the finest ore, sourced from Locus Ammonius it is. Not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because all we've been hearing is the same music, being played over and over again. On beyond the horizon, an ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Amonis. We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hoped to take back what was once ours. 'Tis a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varus yet lives, and that he speaks to us through our radios. It was a cunning strategy, faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself, that he may one day make his triumphant return. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varus would not be defeated so easily. Okay. And I think there is one more. Okay, so we have to give one to Licinia. What's that? Let's hand that over. So this is what you gave the others. Thank you. I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Are you part of the group staying in Laterum? I saw Laterus Verglia troops heading towards the Magna Glalius a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it. And Virgilia and her men are all there now? So how did you reach the Magna Glalius? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Airships? Then there might be a way to... Licinia, where is everyone? Is something the matter? A voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps a baby Almasty has found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people too. I've just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat a Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. If you've a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there, people whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange, lots of food, and that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'd have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the tappers. If it's ceruleum you need, then it's ceruleum you shall have. You best watch out for your baby Amenities while we're away. Thank you so much. To reach Trapper's Den, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. Okay. Alright, so this is a little bit of a trek, so let's go. Okay, whoops. Yeah, I didn't realize I was going to fail that stealth mission twice. Whoops. I mean, I don't fail ever. Oh, the Mighty are fallen. Okay. Yeah, so, chat, how many times did you fail that stealth mission? Did any of you swear like me? Twice? Okay. Zero. Yeah. I think it, like, you get overconfident because it seems easy at first. But that's the trick, isn't it? I swear, yes. Yeah. There's one of those in a side quest and I almost rage quit. Oh, really? Ah, screw it. I'm in the chocobo. Cool. As well. They're gonna aggro me anyway. By the way, chat, from all the trailers at the Game Awards yesterday, like, which one stood out to you? Alright. Okay, let me keep recording in the meantime. Part 2. Let me just mark it to be edited. I can remember where the editing is. Okay. Thirsty suitors. Oh. Okay, recording in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we made it. Let's talk to the burly tapper. So who goes there? How did you find us? I mean, you're standing right out in the open. What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? If the purebloods over Victor Spoils hadn't given away our location, you'd never have found us. Those stuck-up dudes thought that they could come waltzing in here, demanding ceruleum with nothing to offer in return. Ha! Looks like the boots are on the other foot now the capital's gone to shite. So they've resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know your game, Soul Sword. If they think that we'll give in to intimidation, they've got another thing coming. Oh, really? I just want to be friends. I feel like the Chocobo Companion is really strong. It's like, I feel like it's hitting harder than me. Alright. Let's talk now to this person. There you are. Just after you left, Lucinia asked me to go and catch up with you, in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I have a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. Are you Sam Bridges? So this is Tapper's Den. Well then, after you. So what's the negotiation tactic? Basically just kill everyone until we can just take it? Who are you? What happened to the guards? Eorzeans and rebels here to save the people of Golemod? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance to put those Imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess, none of you are Garlean. You were brought here from other lands. Yerubania, Yantia, Bosnia, Damaska, to name but a few. Some dragged here against our will, others fed bollocks about a better life, all put to work extracting ceruleum. We've given the esteemed title of Anne, placing us firmly at the bottom rung of the ladder. But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. About the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is Cerelia Ingent, still sustaining us, even though with our paymasters out of the picture. We hear that you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake, but how can you do that if it's frozen over? Wouldn't you like to know? Great secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days. What with the city in ruins. We take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later. And though it helps stave off the cold, it does sod all about our hunger unless we can trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent that we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us, thanks to the Empire. And the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. As long as there's a need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald as we knew it is gone for good. Gone for good? Fair enough. Okay, let's talk to Alice. So regardless of what the Isambard contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause for celebration, while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it's consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. Oh, let's complete this quest. Alright. So anyway, guys, I feel like it's a good place to stop. And if you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, goodbye from me and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys. Okay, stop recording. I mean, that video will be at least half an hour, so... I'm close to 83. Something at least. That. To be fair, you know that how they got rid of the belt slot? I don't miss it. It's like, it was almost like it wasn't necessary. Okay, let me edit these videos straight away. editing. But edit out the swears so that Captain America won't be disappointed in me. I mean, to be fair, that was pretty fun. I make myself laugh sometimes. And that's the thing, it's Friday, chat, right? It's like, that was quick. Because in a couple of days, I need to make my next vlog. For the vlog channel, because I make them every Sunday. And every single week, it's always like, I can't believe it's Sunday already. Okay. Oh, it's editing. A trail of fresh footprints leads east. Next one's over there. Okay. Cover as such as rocks as you. Fair enough. Okay, so that's where it started. And let's see. I failed it twice, I believe. Okay. The success. Go. Right. Delete that. So it seems obvious that this. I want to make sure that the editing seems seamless so you don't even notice that it was edited. Okay, seems to be okay. Let me put this, put that. Okay, so part 13 is called Tracks in the Snow. Tracks in snow. Start. Man, I'm tired. Jesus. This week went by so quick. Yeah. So after editing, the episode's only 25 minutes. Whoops. But I wasn't going to take the risk. Okay, 14 is called At the End of the Trail. I'm guessing soon I'm going to be a couple more quests, I guess. Will get me to 83. Okay, let me see if it's coded properly. Yeah, perfect. All right. So let's close that. Close that. Delete that. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, let me get up and stretch chat before I start another episode. Hydrate. Okay. So what are you guys up to at the moment? Guessing you're all leveling up your alt classes now. Thinking about what's for lunch. Yeah, why not? Bounce it, bounce it, bounce it, bounce it. I'm definitely 100% focused on what I'm doing. My queue is 3,400 now after an hour. Uh-oh. Yeah, I can imagine that would be really, really annoying. I keep forgetting to eat these boiled eggs. Okay, so this boiled egg, I bought it about 4 years ago. You think it's still good? Or is Mithrie going to just spontaneously throw up? Actually seems to be okay. I mean, in real life, you can throw up from boiled eggs, like, the second they're cooked. It still gives a 3%. Yeah, yeah. That's because I keep forgetting to actually use it. 100-year-old egg? Yeah. I don't think I've ever eaten a 100-year-old egg before. I don't know if I ever want to be perfectly honest. It is an actual thing, like 100-year-old eggs. Like it's sold in some fancy restaurants. That'll be a good way to start my morning. Talking about puking, yeah. Alright chat, I'm going to carry on the story. Let's just get to it. So recording in 3, 2, 1. And we're back for another episode. In this episode we're going to be carrying on the main story in Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here in Gala mode at 2434. I could do that better than that. I don't know. And I noticed as well when I started the episode, I was like, there's literally no reason. Okay, let me try again. So recording in 3, 2, 1. And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be carrying on the main story in Final Fantasy XIV's expansion Endwalker. And as always, hello from Mithrie. What's up? So we are here in Gala mode at 2434, and we need to talk to Jarek. So the quest is called At the End of the Trail. Jarek is amenable to making a deal. So you've come seeking Ceruleum, have you? What? Those purebloods up at Victor Spoils sent you? To turn to the enemies for help, they must be more desperate than I'd thought. Then again, Lucinia got her little sister to think about a sister, but we only saw Lucinia and 3 men. It's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any to get around here. I may have refused Lucinia at first, thinking that she'd come back with something to exchange, but I can spare them a bottle worth of Ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them our way, you hear? I can't for the life of me think why Lucinia would keep her sister a secret from us, But we can ask about that after we've delivered this Ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. Okay, so let's go back to Lucinia and speak to Alice. Okay, stop recording. Let's see. Part 1. Yeah. Okay. That away. Uh-oh. So we should just rename it from Rain to like something involving BTs. It's BTing. Uh-oh. Does that work? I'm trying to improve the English language. A bubble tea, yeah. BTE. It's BTing. The stairs. What stairs? Oh, that was... Oh, yeah, completely messed up. Whoops. That is BT for me. Ah. I think... Yeah. Like, I know this is way more barren than the zones of Shadowbringers, like Calusia and so on. But... I like it. It sets up a much nicer story than what we saw in Shadowbringers. So far, at least. Okay. So here is Alice. Alright, let's carry on. Let's move on. The recording in 3, 2, 1. Alright, we made it back to the camp, so let's talk to you, Alice. So, this isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alphanode would still be treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I'll look inside the house while you search outside. They can't have gone far. Interesting. So, for whatever reason, they're just nowhere to be seen. Maybe they like hiding behind the house or something. Oh, I'll tell you what, let me ride my chocobo. Let's see if we can find any hint of where they went. That's a cliff. And here? Ah, there they are. Uh-oh. They asked me to help carry supplies, but when I followed them back here, they attacked me. Caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us. We know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are, waiting in the wings for us to show weakness. Then, in you swoop. It to help, what rot, all a ploy, to make us lower our guard. Let you win, put ourselves at your mercy, put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge. You're wrong, that's not what any of us want. Leave the arguments for later, we've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles and a bed that's still warm. It's true, Lucinia was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now, there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours. And if you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'd never give up my people. We're trying to help them, you idiot. Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. So the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry, or to avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. You invade our homeland, taint it with the same sorcery used to slay our countrymen. A Guardian should sooner die than suffer the insult. Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact, than be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them, since the moment you arrived. This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Lucidia and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries and theirs. I will join you in the search after. Alright, be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out of here, so that's where we'll start. Alright, well, let's go. Gonna be too far away. Yep, okay. Here's Alice. So, 2 sets of footprints, young women judging by the size. This is definitely them, come on. Alright. Alright, let's go. Okay, stop recording for now. Art. I realized I didn't get a screenshot from the first one, so let me do that now. I use the screenshots for the thumbnails. Okay, that'll do. Alright, okay, got the screenshot. I'm thinking I might have some Japanese food tonight. What I would like is some sort of rice covered in egg. So not egg fried rice, because that's really obvious. Like an actual, like, cooked egg. We've been talking of eggs all day. Maybe with like some chicken or something. A mango sushi. Let me take a look. Mango sushi. No, not that. Let me see if I can find it. Rice, fish, egg. Something like this. Send you this link. Something like that. So there's a lot of pop-ups on this flipping website. I don't know why, because I saw it in a YouTube video a couple of days ago, and I'm like, that looks really good. It depends if the restaurants I order from actually have any option like that. That's the point. Oh, no, yeah, I already got that. Already equipped. Have you tried half-boiled egg with cooked rice? I think so. Not intentionally, just not a dish like that. I'm getting hungry, too. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me finish this video, and then I'll see what the Japanese restaurant has. We'll see if we can find anything that's like what I'm describing. Okay, so far I've recorded 6 minutes. Okay, so there's still a while to go on the episode. So recording in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we caught up to Alice. Let's talk to her. So the trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route so as to not leave footprints? I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place. It's crawling with beasts. And I can only imagine how hard it must be for her ailing sister to cross the ice. We could easily do with Alphinaud's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. I mean, aren't they just going towards where the Ceruleum is? I mean, it's in this sort of general direction, isn't it? That cave right there. Alright, let's see if we can find any clues. Wow, this is a big search area. Okay, there's a sparkly over there. The bottle. And the bottle smells faintly of alcohol. The thin coating of dirt indicates that he's been here for some time. Okay, so it's not likely what we want. Alright, let's go this way. Let's avoid all the Yetis around. Okay, this one. Fresh blood. Uh-oh. I hear an Aether going. So the blood staining the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. The trail of blood leads southeastwards. Okay, let's go southeast. Avoid these guys. Okay, maybe in that ravine, I guess. Uh-oh. Well, the two bodies are already cold. Well, that sucks. Man, why can't we just cast the red spell?
Blood trail. We found one. They were attacked. No. Why? Why wouldn't they?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... I should have... We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
What if we're only making it worse?
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold. I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there is something to the tale after all. I want to understand, so I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
Cool. So, there must have been something we could have done, but what? Should we have never come here? Would they still be alive if we hadn't? Okay, the next quest is called A Way Forward. So Alphino's resolve may be shaken, but he has not forgotten his duty. So we have already caused enough harm here. Let's return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do now is make our report to Lycia and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. Okay. So I should be able to teleport. I can. I wasn't expecting them to die so quickly. Okay. Go talk to Lucia. So, Alice and Alphino tell me that they have finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrained from saying much more than that. Clearly, they are reluctant to provide details. Might I ask for your account?
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Populares, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald. The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's Third Legion clashed with the First, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvis is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory, and that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First as well.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in their dreams. May the Tower of Babil stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
This sounds awfully familiar.
We have something to show you all.
Varus spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, Those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends, I must speak with you. A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
I think we do.
Who do we have here?
Garleans? Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
I am Lucia Junius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Iulus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face. How their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
I'm with you.
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
A couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
Hey, let's talk to Lucia. So you'll be received as invited guests, so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else, remember this. Grid in particular will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you. Cool. Let's talk to him. Are you and the children ready? I will explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I'd expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. Okay. I feel like he's awfully, like, bossy considering he was a prisoner 1 second ago. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Alice and he's Alphanode. And last but not least, there's Mithrie. Mithrie, where have I heard that before? YouTube, subscribe. No matter, Alphanode and Alice will watch the road ahead, while we bring up the rear. I was lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter run, towards the station. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Once you choose to depart, Julius will accompany you. Alphanode and Alice will then begin moving towards the destination. Make your way to Liminal Station 4 without falling behind. If you leave Julius behind for any reason or lose sight of Alphanode and Alice, you may try again by returning to the starting point. Ready to dash to the station? Sure. So, we'll try and avoid these bears if we can. Must be the road. Yeah. All of this, that should lead us to the station. Or the easier surface to run on. It's one of those things where it would have been interesting to have these sort of follow quests like in the previous expansions, but they can't retrospectively go back and add them, so it's just this will be the content from now on. But hopefully if they ever release any other MMO like Final Fantasy XIV, these sort of features will be there from the beginning. Alright. Okay, we made it. So let's talk to Julius, or Julius. This is it, the first stop, that is. Good, it looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept your side of the bargain, we can carry on. Fair enough. Talk to Julius. So, north of the station is Regio Domorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They'll tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close, no wandering off, understood? Sure. So, the next quest is called The Last Bastion. So, Julius knows only too well what that danger lurks around every corner. From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. they would attack their own countrymen? Aye, they spare their own, but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I'll lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you ought to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided that they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, let us proceed. Okay, so I guess I'm doing this fight on my own. Okay, so do I have to go far? So they said the left side of the tracks. Hopefully we won't get attacked on the way. Oh, we got attacked. Never mind. Guess I'm on my chocobo. Next. So I see why your comrades chose you. Julius, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or tempered as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For all I know, your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They're beyond saving. Those who fought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered for their pleading hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. Alright. And not too far. Hopefully we won't aggro anything on the way. Okay, we have another fight here. It looks like we're not being followed. We will continue onward. Okay, again. I would say that this is not the stealthiest way, given that we seem to be getting into a fight every 5 seconds. I meant what I said. These people deserve only death. I saved my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered, and that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. Okay. Do we have to go far? Okay, we do. Alright, let's go. Okay, I've stopped recording for now. Part 3. This is called the Last Bastion. Nearly there. Oh, there's a fight. Okay, I was gonna say. Alright, let's record. So recording in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have another fight. So let's do this. Salted Duelist. So look at what they have become. Still, would you still stand there and claim that they can be cured? Those exposed to a vast quantity of primal aether may suffer severe corruption. Even with the treatment, such victims were beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you have seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. Reminds me of the soldiers in Final Fantasy XIV that get sick from excessive exposure to materia. So, alright, we're not going too far. I'm guessing eventually we'll find how to get to that place. Maybe it's on the ground or something. Well, almost, sir. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine. This way. Alright. Again, not too far. This is Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as your headquarters, our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I'll be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. Okay, let's go. So this must take us to the, yeah, where the Aetherite is, basically. It was on the ground. Interesting, interesting. Dark and gloomy, but very interesting. Let's talk to Master Alphanode. But it's great to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, and if Julius was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and the snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Oh, your voices. While you may be here as my guest, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive over there. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Wonder if we get any sort of train battles like with Final Fantasy VIII. Okay, let's see, before we go into there, let's see if we can attune to this Aetherite. Aetherite is not responding. Okay, so not yet. Okay, let's talk to Judas.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus Van Kina, Legatus of the First Legion.
The first? I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and Empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varus understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat. And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter. You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
What are these?
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop. Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed. Even if she allowed herself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If she refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
Because even the most bitter adversary may one day see reason. On the coldest and blackest of nights, meager though it may be, must share the warmth of our fire.
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be. You will be their warden. Take them away.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Nice. I'm gonna hit level 83. Alright, so I think that's a perfect time to end the episode. So anyway guys, that's it. Be sure to give a thumbs up if you liked it, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie. Bye, guys. GG. Yep, I hit 83. Now, chat, I am dying on the inside. I am so tired. So, I'm gonna order some food, and I'm just gonna chill for the rest of the night. And then, hopefully, we can just carry on tomorrow. That's okay. So, and do check out my videos I just uploaded, especially the, what's it called? My compilation from yesterday's trailers. So, yeah. It's on my main YouTube channel. And I will see about uploading these, episodes that I recorded today. Alright, chat. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Like I said, the only reason I'm tired is because I was up until 4 AM last night watching the Game Awards. There's literally no other reason. So, have a good one, chat. Thanks for everything. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye-bye.